Hey, what's up? Jeff here. Just want to talk a little bit about AT&T's data plans, how they recently changed them up. So now what they've done is for all new AT&T customers, you pay, if you get a smartphone, such as an iPhone for example, you pay $25 a month if you want 2 gigabytes of data transfer. That's it, 2 gigabytes. Then you can pay another additional $20, so that's $45 if you want to get the tethering option for your iPhone. So they've also have a another plan which includes like 250 what is it, two something, where is it, somewhere, $15 a month for 200 megabytes, and that's it. Now they plan, if you get the 2 gigabyte plan, they charge an additional $10 for every gigabyte you use more. So if you use 3 gigabytes, they charge you $35, for example. Now, I've been doing a little thinking, and what I came down to is this. If you read my article on my website, it's that I have a Verizon MiFi, and the MiFi is obviously a Verizon device, and it basically turns anything into being able to access mobile internet. So like you can put your iPhone on the MiFi, you can put your laptop, and it supports up to 5 devices, and it's very, very fast. They use the Verizon network, super fast, and since they have more coverage in more places, at least than AT&T does, and I'm not bombing AT&T here. I actually like their service. It works pretty well in my area. It's not the best, but it does work fairly well. So I'm not bombing them. I'm not gonna, bash them or anything. But Verizon service definitely is faster, in my experience. And the MiFi is just an overall good device. But aside from that, that costs $60 a month, and Verizon has a 5 gigabyte plan, which is $60 a month, and then they have the 250 megabyte plan or so, which is like, double check that, somewhere around here. I believe it's like $40 or so a month. Maybe it's like $40 a month. So if you do the math, if you come out on top if you get the 5 gigabyte plan, 20 extra bucks. My mail it would eat up 250 megabytes in 2 sessions. It's nothing. So I got that plan, and it works really, really well, and I'm very happy, as I mentioned. But I was doing some thinking because a lot of people are really, really upset at AT&T for doing this. Now, I think we're in an age now where we don't realize that how much 1 gigabyte of transfer actually really is. It's actually a lot. It's 1,024 megabytes, or over 1 million kilobytes. And if you want to break it down to bytes, it's even more. I don't remember off the top of my head. So that's a lot of data. I mean, if you break it down this way, let's say on average, and there was a recent report I read that the average website is 130 kilobytes in size. Web page, I'm sorry, not website. Web page is 130 kilobytes in size. You'd have to visit over 16,100 web pages, to reach that 2 gigabytes of data, assuming that they were all 130K. That's a lot of web pages, no doubt. In fact, you probably don't surf that many web pages in a month, because you probably surf the same website, and you get the point. So that's a lot of traffic, and not to mention a lot of websites nowadays are optimized for mobile browsers. So they actually use less transfer because they're optimized for them. They have a special site that's dedicated for low bandwidth type for viewing, like on a mobile web browser, on an iPhone, Android, Palm, it doesn't matter. So my point is that sure, 2 gigs may seem like a very little like with all the storage that we have today for so cheap, it may seem like not a lot, but in reality it really is. In fact, let me give you some perspective here, some real life perspective. My Verizon MiFi, which I've been using for about a month now, at the time I wrote this article, I had less than 700 megabytes of usage, and that's with real surfing on a MacBook Pro, surfing real websites for, and it's not just like once in a while. I actually was using it when I was on vacation, and then I actually lent it to my brothers, and they were using it when they went on vacation a couple weeks ago. So it's fair amount of use. I use it at school all the time because for some reason the school network is having some issues when I'm in class. So whatever. But I've been using it, and the bottom line is I've still used less than 700 megs, and I have 5 gigabytes allotted to me. That's, you know, per month, by the way. So that is a lot of, you know, if you put it in perspective that way, it's a lot of transfer for you that's available to you. Now, think about it this way: you're on your iPhone. I've used less than a gigabyte of transfer every month for the past 6 months. I haven't even come close. That's not true. I come a little close, but not like I've been in like the 700 megabyte range. It's really a lot of overhead that you have available to you, and I really think that people are worried about it because of this. Because when the iPhone supposedly is going to have a front-facing camera, and you're going to be able to do a lot of video and listen to Pandora in the background and stream music and do this and do that, yeah, I understand that. But the average person probably won't be having this issue, and even so, even if you did get the 2 gigabyte plan for whatever reason, and by the way, I should also make note that if you don't want to, if you're an existing AT&T customer with an iPhone and you don't want to change to the new data plan, you can't get tethering, but you can keep your unlimited data plan if you want, but you still have to pay $30. Nonetheless, if you're really worried about it, you know, $10 more is really not that bad if you think about it for an extra gig. It's not charging you by like the megabyte here. They're charging you by the gig, $10 for an extra gig. So what? You're still paying less than if you would have had a phone and a MiFi. You're still paying less than if you got the tethering option too. I mean, you're going to end up paying what, $35 as opposed to $25 if you use 3 gigs, or $45 or $55 if you use, you know, 5 gig. It's not that big a deal. Because chances are you won't hit that limit. Anyway, my point is this. I'm curious to know what you guys think. That was my point. I'm really curious to know, because will this affect you? How does it affect you if it does? Do you know for a fact you use a shitload of data transfer per month? I mean, you tell me. Do you really know? You can check your AT&T if you have an AT&T account. If you don't, I'm sure other service providers provide them as well. You can check under your account settings, data usage. It's right there. Let me know in the comments. Curious to know what you think. Thanks again for watching. This has been live.best. Until next time, we'll see you. And remember, take care of your computer.